Devastating news out of Collierville this weekend, a shooting at a local grocery store.
And a long-awaited memorial sculpture has been unveiled in Chattanooga.
And how does it look like for our weather this weekend? We will have the details in our forecast. I'm Caleb Figures.
And I'm Ryan Brooks. Your news starts now.
A gunman attacked a grocery store in Collierville, Tennessee Thursday afternoon. Authorities say he killed one person and wounded 12 others before he was found dead of a apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound at the store. The shooting broke out at a Kroger grocery store in Collierville, a suburban community 30 miles east of Memphis. 12 of the victims were taken to hospitals, some with very serious injuries. A Kroger worker was working a cash register when she heard what at first she thought were balloons popping. A police, SWAT team, and other officers went aisle to aisle plucking panicked people from hiding and taking them out safely.
The long-awaited memorial to Ed Johnson has been unveiled at the Walnut Street Bridge. The memorial has been planned since at least 2018, and it includes 3 life-size sculptures of Ed Johnson and the lawyers who defended him, Noah Pardon and Styles Hutchins. In 1906, Johnson was hung from the Walnut Street Bridge after he was wrongfully accused of raping a white woman. After Johnson was lynched, the Supreme Court held their only criminal trial to date, finding some of the perpetrators guilty. Here's a look back at the service.
So today is both an end and a beginning. It is the end of work that began 6 years ago with a group of people sitting both on the front row and also behind me. However, there are those who will continue on working. I was going to say that we need you, but actually we need each other. And that the work of this project stands on the shoulders of those who came before us, like Paul McDaniel. A few days ago, there was a man named Aaron who worked on the memorial, and he pointed to me this 2,000-pound tree that was installed. And he said, there's something happening that's only supposed to happen one time a year. And there are buds on this tree that are only supposed to bloom in March around the time of the anniversary of Ed Johnson's killing. And there is one lone flower shining forth. The reason I'm telling you this is because I believe that even nature is responding to the memory of Ed Johnson and to the labor of we in this community. That it's bringing forth life where death once was. That which was supposed to bloom only once is come again. And this bridge has stood as a violation for some. It has been a place of death, and let it for now and forever be a place of life and resurrection. So I am asking you to rise and join me, a man who's not crossed that bridge in over 3 years, as we make this bridge not for some of Chattanooga, not for some of the state of Tennessee, not for some of America, but for all of America and all of Chattanooga.
Mayor Tim Kelly gave a speech at the dedication on Sunday. He issued a formal apology calling the crime a gross injustice. The memorial was funded in large part by donations from the Chattanooga community. The dedication was sponsored by a variety of local organizations, including UTC's Department of History and Department of Africana Studies.
Tennessee officials are asking the public to pick their favorite of 4 redesign options for new license plates that will be available starting in January. Voting began Monday and runs through September 27 at tennessee.gov/ratetheplates. The new design will replace the current plate that launched in 2006. State law includes a redesign every 8 years if lawmakers approve funding for it. So go vote for your choice and we will tell you who wins.
Will the rain finally let up? Here's our Chris Figures with the details.
Last weekend it rained so much that we almost had a flood. But we might finally be in the clear. The forecast said it will be sunny next week. We're looking at some beautiful fall weather ahead. Temperatures will fall into the mid-70s and low 80s during the day. At night, temperatures could fall as low as the mid-40s. Humidity will remain high, especially at night, reaching up to 80%. Caleb and Ryan, back to you. A new exhibition has come to the ICA, UTC's Fine Arts Gallery.
And student workers have the new opportunity to gain hands-on arts leadership experience.
Here's our Jules Jackson with the details.
I'm here at the Fine Arts Center, where an exciting art exhibition is on display and a student is giving her first gallery tour. Warm lights, hand-shaped ceramic objects, the voice of Ilana Harris-Babot fills the room. This is a survey of her sculpture and video art made between 2016 and 2020. Students can work at the ICA as a work study. Their jobs include gallery sitting, installing and deinstalling work, and now leading tours of the gallery. Grace Wright, a senior painting and drawing student, is the first student to lead a tour of the ICA.
All of these are like color-coded with the walls, and so we have this section, we have the pink section for the beauty and wellness, so I just thought that was really neat too. There was one day that I was sitting in here and a couple of girls came in and they were like, oh, you think we can take these off the walls? I'm like, no, you can't. They look like toys. I promise they're not.
Let's do it.
So I've been working at the ICA for 2 semesters now. This is my first time giving a tour of the gallery. It was a different experience than I expected. Hard to, just like when you're giving a speech, slow down, listen, give time for pauses. But my audience was very participatory, which is all I could hope for. We did talk about the pieces, watch the videos, and it was good pacing. It was better than I could have hoped for.
Tasteful interiors will be on view until November the 5th at the Fine Arts Center here on campus. I'm Jules Jackson reporting for Mocs News.
A play written by UTC's Peggy Douglas will be performed at Miller Park this weekend. Still Toes in Hired Hands is a poetic monologue that tells the stories of working-class Chattanooga residents in the 1950s. The stories are connected by music, R&B, country, and rock and roll. Dr. Douglas received an individual artist fellowship in playwriting from the Tennessee Art Commission. The production is directed by Ann Swedberg of UTC Performing Arts Department. Still Toes and Hired Hands will be performed this Friday at 7:30 p.m., Saturday at 7:30 p.m., and Sunday at 3 p.m. Also, Auburn hosts a bounce back this weekend as they host Georgia State at home.
I'm excited to see what the game of the week is. Chauncey Figures has the answer for you.
The Auburn Tigers are hoping to once again enjoy the comfort of their own home as heavy favorites against Georgia State on Saturday. The 23rd ranked Tigers return to Jordan-Hare Stadium for another home game that appears to be a mismatch. The Tigers are favored to win against Georgia State by 26.5 points, but now they return back home to play in their own stadium following a 28-20 loss at number 6 Penn State, and not only their first road venue, but the Tigers' first Power 5 opponent. The University of Iowa announced Thursday it will become the first Power 5 school to add a women's wrestling program, and it will begin competition in the 2023-24 season. The Hawkeye Wrestling Club has been sponsoring female wrestlers since 2017. Iowa women's wrestling can be offered 10 scholarships that can be divided among participants. The roster size is expected to be 30 to 35 wrestlers. Iowa will now offer 22 sports, 8 men's teams and 14 women's teams. The university added women's rowing in 1994 and women's soccer in 1996. And finally, our high school game of the week will be the border battle as the South Pittsburgh Pirates will take a trip to Alabama to take the Chiefs of North Jackson High School. This will be the first ever matchup between the two schools, and this should be an exciting matchup as the Pirates are coming off a 49-3 win over Whitwell. But as for the Trees, they are coming off a loss to Madison Academy. Kickoff for this matchup is set for 7:30. Also, for our Saturday slate for college football, notable matchup will include Notre Dame versus Wisconsin at North Soldier Field in Chicago, Texas A&M versus Arkansas Houston, and Texas Tech at Texas. That's all for sports. Caleb and Ryan, back to you.
What do axe throwing and mental health have in common? Timothy McCurry has the answer with his story.
Throwing for a Cause was an event held at Valkyrie Axe Throwing that aimed to help students with their mental health. The event was hosted by the Center for Wellbeing in order to bring the wellness to the center's various resources in a fun and engaging way. Center for Wellbeing Director Megan McKnight explained how this event came together and how it could help students.
We were looking for a way to engage students at UTC in Suicide Prevention Awareness Month programs.
Okay.
So axe throwing is a great way to alleviate stress and anger. So we thought it would be a good way to get students to come out to do that activity, but also then to have resources on campus and in the community available for students while they're here. So that was how this all kind of came together.
Valkyrie Axe Throwing owner Randy Conloy also thought that this was a great event to hold for the students at UTC.
Student wellness is a really important process, and the fact that me and all of my employees have some kind of connections with stuff like that, it's really important to us.
Randy also said that he's a lot stressed due to throwing axes several hours a day. If you are interested in the Center for Wellbeing, the center will offer some training as well as sticker and button events in the coming weeks. If you are interested in more axe throwing, Valkyrie Axe Throwing is located on East Main Street and is open all week. So check it out if you want to feel like a god.
That's this edition of Mocs News. Thank you for joining us. Be sure to keep up with us on our Facebook page.
We are also on Twitter and YouTube. Have a good weekend.